The fun and excitement of Halloween is just days away, but with the sun setting earlier, it is important to take extra precautions, of course, for the whole family. And here to discuss is Halloween health and safety, is Dr. Carina Quezada-Adan, pediatrician at Kaiser Permanente Santa Rosa. Good to see you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Of course. So first of all, walk us through some of the health concerns that might come to mind for people of all ages during this time of year.
For starters, it's going to be safety because kids are going to be walking around at night. They may not always be visible. Cars may be driving and may not see them. So safety on the streets would be probably the primary concern. So having kids, well, that's the first concern. And the second concern is, what are parents going to do with all that candy?
Yeah, exactly. So let's break it down. Let's get a little more specific here. So first of all, what can parents do to keep their kids safe while they're out trick-or-treating or maybe at some themed parties with their friends?
I think primarily when they're outside, to always be in groups. Never let your trick-or-treaters go alone. Kids and parents should carry flashlights to increase their visibility. They have to make sure their costumes are not too long, that they're not going to fall and trip over them, and that they have good visibility through all their masks. All the superheroes need to know where they're going.
Yeah.
Also, pay attention to the things that you're always telling your kids when you're walking on the streets, is to use the crosswalk, look both ways when you cross the street, and don't run on the streets because there's going to be a lot of kids out there.
Yeah, and of course an important reminder to drivers out there as well to be extra vigilant on Halloween night and the week of Halloween. Doctor, what are some best practices when it comes to how much candy kids can actually have? We're out there gathering. I remember when I was a kid, I'd get a whole jack-o'-lantern full of candy, but a lot of pieces there, but just how much can kids actually have, in the coming days and weeks post-Halloween?
I think what's important to think is parents and kids to together set up an expectation of what they're going to do with all that candy. And I think a good idea is before the night to ask your child, you're going to come home with a lot of candy. What are your plans for your candy? So it's good to get what the child has in mind, because it may be surprising to the parent, and then set up a plan of what you're going to do when you come home with all that candy and what are you going to do on the days following. Now, if children consume a lot of candy at one time on Halloween night, the day after, it's not really going to be so dangerous for them. They may have some tummy aches, but I think that's a good opportunity to teach your child, to show them when you eat a lot of candy or you overindulge in a food, this is what you may feel like, and they can remember that as it's a good learning point. So I think moderation is key. Overeating on 1 or 2 nights is not going to be so bad for the child, other than maybe a tummy ache, and deciding how they're going to parcel out that candy after Halloween night.
Yeah, and I imagine it's also important to double check the packaging of different candies as well. Are there certain perhaps materials, choking hazards that kids and parents should be looking out for when it comes to what they're picking up in their trick-or-treat bags?
Absolutely. That would be age dependent. So if you have the small trick-or-treaters, generally when I remember coming home is you dump your big bag of Halloween candy and spread it on the table, and that's a good opportunity for parents to look at any candies that look like they've been opened, or if there's any homemade candies, probably a good idea to eat those if you know who gave them to your child. Then there's the smaller hard candies that for anybody really can choke on those, but the younger ages, like the Jawbreakers and the
Jolly Ranchers,
and things of that nature, they have to monitor their kids when they're eating them, so not running when you're eating candy. So that's when parents have to really look at the age of their child and maybe pull those candies out to have them in another place just to prevent any choking, because that can happen at any age, but of course as the child is younger it would be more of an issue.
Got it. And of course, we have Halloween, which is kind of kick-starting off the holiday season. We're starting to see more folks get together, probably, eventually for Thanksgiving and Christmas, Hanukkah, all those different holidays. Any best practices when it comes to safety for children to keep in mind for families as we look forward?
As far as food or in general in the holidays?
Food, perhaps fitness things to keep in mind so we're not overeating.
Yes. So I think keeping up the healthy habits that one keeps up the other non-holiday days of the year. So that is having the kids go outside, exercise, run around, play, continue to do their sports, try to minimize time behind the screens. And moderation, again, is key. And I think we, as parents, are role models. They look at us to see how we're eating and what we're doing. So we definitely need to role model for our children. And limit sweets because they're present a lot during this time of year, as maybe 1 or 2 times a week. But maybe it's not an everyday habit to have these kids, and us as well, to eat sweet treats often throughout the week.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much to Dr. Carina Quezada-Adan, pediatrician at Kaiser Permanente Santa Rosa, for your valuable insights on how we can stay safe, and especially for our kids this Halloween and holiday season. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. Bye-bye.